The ambition paradox. Carl Jung's 5 discoveries about why ambitious people become paralyzed by inaction. You have massive dreams that could change your life, but you spend your days scrolling instead of working. You know exactly what you should be doing, but somehow you just can't make yourself do it. You are simultaneously the most ambitious and the laziest person you know, and this fundamental contradiction is tearing you apart. Carl Jung discovered why this happens. It's not a moral failing or a lack of discipline. It's what he called the split will, the will divided against itself. This is a psychological civil war, where different parts of your psyche want completely opposite things. Your conscious mind screams for success, while your unconscious sabotages every single effort. You're not lazy. You are in a psychological deadlock. In this video, I'm revealing Jung's 5 profound discoveries about why ambitious, gifted people become completely paralyzed by inaction. These are the insights that explain why willpower fails, why motivation disappears, and what's really happening when you can't make yourself pursue your own magnificent dreams. This isn't another shallow motivational lecture. This is about understanding the hidden psychological forces that create this painful split, and how to finally heal it. The hidden conflict, ambition as a symptom. Here's what's actually happening that nobody understands. Your ambition and your inertia aren't true opposites. They are 2 sides of the same deep psychological wound. Jung discovered that when someone exhibits extreme ambition coupled with extreme inaction, it is not a simple character flaw. It is a profound symptom of psychic splitting, where the psyche divides against itself as a desperate internal protection mechanism. Think about your own experience. You can envision your success in perfect, granular detail. The ambition burns so hot it keeps you awake at night. But when the morning comes, you can't even take the first tiny step. The same mind that creates magnificent visions becomes instantly paralyzed at the thought of actual action. You are a visionary genius and a procrastinating failure living in the same body. Jung observed this devastating pattern repeatedly. Brilliant people with extraordinary visions who couldn't take the basic
know exactly what you're doing wrong. Yet that knowledge offers zero help. If anything, it makes it worse. Society's simplistic solution, just do it, stop being lazy, have discipline, completely misses the point. It's like telling someone sinking in quicksand to just walk out. The problem isn't the lack of effort. The problem is that effort applied in the wrong direction only makes the psychological trap worse. But Jung discovered a profound truth that changes everything about this condition. Laziness is a protector, the unconscious emergency brake. Jung's first breakthrough, what you call laziness, is actually your unconscious mind protecting you from something it perceives as profoundly dangerous. Not a physical danger, but a psychological threat so deep that your psyche would rather keep you paralyzed than let you move toward your great ambition. Your laziness isn't weakness. It's a sophisticated, self-calibrated protection mechanism. Here is the mechanism Jung discovered. Every ambitious vision carries a shadow, a hidden fear that the unconscious recognizes, even if your conscious mind denies it. Success means visibility, and visibility means being seen, judged, potentially criticized, and ultimately rejected. True achievement means change, and radical change means losing your current identity, your stable relationships, and your established sense of safety. Your unconscious sees dangers in your ambition that your conscious mind either minimizes or flat out refuses to acknowledge. Jung observed this specific protection in countless patients. A brilliant writer who couldn't finish a manuscript. Her unconscious knew that publishing meant exposing her most vulnerable inner world to harsh criticism. An entrepreneur with revolutionary ideas who couldn't launch
His unconscious recognized that success would mean psychological separation from his family's established identity. A talented artist who couldn't create, her unconscious understood that her art would reveal truths about herself she wasn't ready to confront. The psyche's deep wisdom often appears on the surface as sabotage. Jung wrote, "What seems like laziness is frequently the unconscious applying an emergency brake to prevent a collision the conscious mind doesn't see coming." Your personal laziness
Protecting you from consequences that once genuinely threatened your ancestors. The unconscious doesn't distinguish between past and present danger. It just recognizes the pattern and applies immediate protection. This is precisely why willpower fails. You are trying to override a deep, complex protection mechanism with brute force. It's the equivalent of trying to remove your hand from a hot stove through discipline. The protection will always win because it is operating from deeper, older, and far more powerful parts of your psyche than your conscious will. The solution is not more force, but more understanding. Laziness is loyalty, the trap of borrowed ambition. Jung's second revelation completely reframes the core problem. The ambition you are failing to pursue might not be your authentic desire, but what he called inherited ambition. Dreams that belong to your parents, your societal programming, or the collective unconscious, rather than your true, unique self. Your laziness might be your authentic self refusing to pursue false dreams. Jung observed that many ambitious people are literally carrying other people's unlived lives. Your father's unachieved dream, your mother's sacrificed ambition, or society's rigid definition of what constitutes a meaningful life. These borrowed ambitions feel real because you have carried them for so long, but they are not yours. Jung discovered this through what he called the source test. When patients described their ambitions, he would ask, if no one, no family, no friends, no society, would ever know about this achievement, would you still want it? The answer often revealed that the ambition was purely for external recognition, not internal fulfillment. The lazy response in this case was the authentic self saying, "This isn't mine to do." This borrowed ambition manifests in clear patterns, jeopardous about things that primarily impress others but do not genuinely excite you. Your vision of success looks exactly like society's prescribed definition: wealth, status, awards. Your dreams would make your parents immensely proud, but leave you feeling profoundly empty. Lives only in your head as an abstract concept, not in your heart as a deeply felt calling. That authentic ambition feels like a libido magnetism. It naturally draws your energy without force. You don't have to motivate yourself. You have to stop yourself. Borrowed ambition, conversely, requires constant exhausting force. You have to pump yourself up, create elaborate motivation systems, and constantly fight procrastination. It's exhausting because you are trying to run software that is fundamentally incompatible with your operating system. Your psyche rejects it, like a body rejecting a transplanted organ. The tragedy is that people spend decades trying to overcome laziness toward borrowed ambitions, never once questioning whether the ambition itself is the actual problem. Your laziness might be wisdom, not weakness. Your true self protecting you from wasting your life on someone else's dream. Laziness is identity preservation, the fear of success. Even if the ambition is authentically yours, there is another deeper force Jung discovered that creates paralysis. Jung's third discovery reveals a hidden terror. Achieving your ambition means the death of who you currently are, and your psyche experiences this identity change as an actual threat. Your laziness is a sophisticated act of identity preservation, keeping you safely the same even when you consciously want to change. You are not afraid of failure. You are afraid of success,
because success means your current self must die. Jung observed that every identity has what he called homeostatic pressure, a powerful, deep-seated force maintaining the current state. You have spent years, perhaps decades, building your current self. Your habits, your relationships, your self-concept, and your entire life structure are built upon this current identity. Success would shatter all of it. A new identity means new relationships, a new self-concept, and a new structural reality. Your unconscious recognizes this psychological upheaval as a form of death and rebirth, and it responds accordingly with total resistance. Think about what your success would actually mean. If you succeed, you can no longer be the underdog. You lose the comfortable identity of having untapped potential. You can't bond with others through the comfort of shared struggle. You can no longer blame external circumstances for your situation. You become fully responsible for
without risking failure. These gains are so psychologically valuable that your unconscious would rather keep them than achieve the ambition. This identity threat is why success often feels more frightening than failure. Failure keeps you the same identity, same relationships, same life structure. Success changes everything. Your psyche might rationally prefer the familiar suffering of unfulfilled ambition to the terrifying unknown territory of achievement. The solution Jung found is what he called identity death preparation, consciously grieving the person we'll no longer be when we achieve our ambition. Without this grief work, the unconscious will protect the current identity forever, no matter how limiting it is. Laziness is addiction, the high of potential. Jung's fourth discovery reveals a hidden psychological addiction. Ambitious, lazy people are often what he called potential addicts, psychologically dependent on the feeling of having infinite potential rather than actually manifesting it. Your laziness maintains the addiction by keeping you in perpetual possibility. You're not pursuing dreams, you're getting high on having them. Here is the neurological observation Jung made. Potential feels better than reality. When you have potential, you possess infinite possibility. You could be anything, achieve everything, become anyone. But the moment you act, you immediately collapse that infinite possibility into a single, limited reality. You go from unlimited potential to limited actual. Your psyche might prefer the drug of pure possibility to the soberness of reality. Think about the high of potential, that rush when you imagine your ultimate success, the excitement of planning your breakthrough, the dopamine hit of describing your grand vision. These feelings are real, immediate, and require no actual work or risk. Your brain releases the same reward chemicals for imagined success as it does for real success. You are getting the psychological payoff without the effort, risk, or reality of actual achievement. The potential moment you act, you lose the high. Reality is rarely as good as potential. This is why many ambitious, lazy people start things, then immediately quit. They are chasing the next potential high, not actual accomplishment. Your laziness is protecting your supply of the drug you can't live without: unlimited potential. Laziness is trapped energy, the complex vortex. Jung's final discovery reveals the deepest truth. Ambitious, lazy people aren't lacking energy. Their energy is trapped in what Jung called unconscious complexes. You have massive life force,
but it is being consumed by internal conflicts, repressed emotions, and unintegrated shadow material. Your laziness is not the absence of energy, but energy fighting itself to a standstill. The psyche has finite life force, which Jung called libido, not just sexual, but all creative psychic energy. This energy can either flow freely toward conscious goals, or it can be trapped in unconscious patterns, complexes. When energy is bound in unresolved traumas, repressed emotions, or shadow material, it is unavailable for conscious use. You feel lazy because your energy is elsewhere, fighting internal battles you don't even consciously know about. You have energy for scrolling, consuming, and escaping. This isn't random. Jung found that escapist behaviors do not activate the complexes, so energy flows freely. But moving toward your ambition immediately activates every single complex, every fear, and every unresolved issue. Your energy immediately gets conscripted into managing these activations, leaving nothing for external action. The ambitious, lazy person is like a country using all its resources for a continuous civil war. Jung wrote, "There is no energy for external achievement because it is all consumed by internal conflict." These energy-trapping complexes are specific to ambition. The authority complex activated by potential success. The abandonment complex triggered by visibility. The shame complex aroused by potential judgment. The inadequacy complex stimulated by comparison. Each complex is an energy vortex, sucking away life force the moment you move toward your goal. You decide to work. Stolen by unconscious conflict. The path to integration, wisdom over willpower. Let me synthesize Jung's complete picture of ambitious laziness. Your laziness is protecting you from perceived psychological danger. Your ambition might be borrowed rather than authentically yours. Succember threatens your current identity. You're addicted to potential rather than achievement. Your energy is trapped in unconscious complexes. This isn't a character flaw, it's psychological complexity. You are not weak, you are divided. You are not failing, you are navigating internal conflicts most people never even recognize. Jung wrote, "The ambitious, lazy person is experiencing an individuation crisis, the conflict between who they have been and who they are becoming. Their paralysis is the pause before transformation, not the failure of will." The solution Jung found isn't pushing harder, but understanding deeper. Not overcoming resistance, but discovering what it's protecting. Not forcing action, but freeing the trapped energy. Not motivation, but integration. The path forward isn't through your laziness, but into it. Understanding its wisdom, respecting its protection, and integrating what it's guarding. If you are ambitious but lazy, Jung would want you to know, you are not broken, you are complex. Your paralysis isn't weakness, but wisdom you don't yet understand. Your laziness isn't your enemy, but a protector whose job might finally be done. Start with one simple question. What is my laziness protecting me from? Don't judge, just be curious. What danger does your unconscious see in your success? What identity would die? Whose ambition are you carrying? Dialogue with your resistance. Ask your laziness what it needs you to know. Thank it for its protection. Negotiate new terms. Your unconscious is not your enemy. It's trying to protect you with outdated methods. Remember Jung's final insight. The conflict is the beginning of consciousness. Your ambitious, lazy split isn't a problem. It's the birth pangs of who you are becoming.